Good evening, everyone. Um, my name is Kelechi, um, and I just wrote the IELTS exam, academic IELTS exam last month in September. I'm going to be giving a brief talk on some of the tips I used to pass the exam. I think I'll start with writing. I don't know. Different people have different places where they're having difficulties with respect to the IELTS exam. Some persons have difficulties in writing, some persons have difficulties in speaking, some listening, and then others in listening. So you have to, first of all, identify where you have weaknesses and then work on your weaknesses, first of all. For me, I wasn't so sure of my writing, so I had to do a lot of work on my writing. And I was doing more of a personal thing because not so many persons were willing to review my work. Most of the things I wrote, I have them in my books, but not so many persons were willing to review them, even when I posted them on the group. So I had to send to some other private, some friend of mine who is a doctor, and then he helped me to review some of my work. So I'll start with writing. Now, basically, for writing, what's it called? Peer review is very important for writing.
Yeah, go to the other room. Go to the other room.
Peer review is very important for writing. Now, the thing is this: you might not necessarily need an expert per se to review your writing. Now, some of the things that you get to see reviewed in other people's essay, you can apply them to your essays. And then you can also form smaller groups where you can actually review each other's essays, make corrections with respect to the 4 aspects of writing, which is coherence and cohesion, grammatical range and accuracy, task achievement, and then lexical resource.
Lexical resource.
Now, yeah, so you have to try as much as you can to help each other. If you find out that your essays are not being reviewed in the main group, you can actually ask a friend to help you review. Okay, the person might not be an expert per se, but they will be able to help point out some things that you might do wrong. So that would help. Now, when it comes to task 1, now task 1 in academic writing is basically involves maps, description, and all that. Now, most persons already know what is expected of them. Most persons know what is expected of them, which is have 4 paragraphs in your task 1. You have an introductory paragraph. You have an overview. You have the 3rd paragraph, which is more like the description of what you are giving, and then a 4th paragraph. Now, know this, but the challenge is how do they put them? How do they develop their essays such that it can actually cover for task achievement, coherence and cohesion, grammatical range and accuracy, and then lexical resource. Now, advise that as much as you can, try as much as you can to listen to podcasts, people that will help you. Listen to podcasts, listen to BBC, listen to how these people actually make reports. Now, it will influence how you write to a large extent. It will influence how you write. Now, another thing that would help you is this: when you type, most times people type and they type in shorthand when they are discussing with their friends and all that. Try to start making conscious efforts to type completely. If you're going to type through, for instance, THROUGH, you shouldn't use the shorthand, which is THROU. try to type completely when you're talking or when you're writing. In the group also, try to write completely. It would help you when you're writing. And then, like I said, importance of peer review is something that you cannot overestimate. You have to get reviews as much as you can. I am not going to guarantee that I will be available to review every person's essay that comes into my inbox, but I've been doing for some persons, I've been doing for some persons, personally. It's not been easy because I have my work to do and all that. But most importantly, review your essays, listen and read every reviewed essay. I did that and it helped me. Read every reviewed essay. There are people who write prototypes, people who write prototype essays, read them and the flow. See how their thought flow is, what they pen down, they determine how their thoughts flowed in the essay. So you do that, it will help improve how you write, both your task 1 and your task 2. Write as many essays as you can. Don't get discouraged at all. When I wrote the first essay I wrote, the person who reviewed it told me it was a band 5. And that was like that hit hard. But I didn't take it, as something that would bring me down. I, channeled the energy into improving myself. You get? And it helped me at the end of the day. So that's for writing. It's basically about practice. Writing is about practice and reviews. Read reviews, write essays, review people's essays. Let people review your own essay, and you moving over time. That is basically what I would say for writing. Now, for listening, listening, it's about attention and your ability to pick out synonyms. That is what listening is about. Your ability to listen attentively and also pick out synonyms. Now, most of the time, when you're giving questions in listening, you can actually, if you look at the questions, you can actually predict those questions, as in the answers when they come. The thing is this, they usually will tell you are giving some time to look through the questions and then answer it when they start the recording. Now, the thing is this, that time they gave you to look at the question is to help you to begin to think ahead. Now, when you look through the questions, you find out that when you start listening to the audio, there are lots of things that you'll be able to pick without any force. There are lots of things you'll be able to pick without any force. It will be so easy for you. So you listen attentively, pay attention, and watch out for synonyms. Most times they don't repeat the question word for word. They'll use synonyms, they'll use words around what was listed or what was said in the question. So your ability to be attentive and then to pick out synonymous words. So you can actually look out for materials that has to do with lexical resource. They have a compilation of works of words and their synonyms and how they can be applied. You can use that. It would help you. Everyday language also, you can actually what's it called now, also begin to, if you're not really good with hearing words in British accent, because most times they use British accent. If you're not good at listening or hearing, picking out words that are said in British accent, you can listen to podcasts on your own in your spare time. Listen to podcasts and see if you can pick out every single word that is said there. Listen to podcasts. There are lots of them. There's this TEDx, that you can listen to. There are lots of podcasts on YouTube, and you can do it for yourself. Now, when you listen to those things, you are able to train your ear. You are training your ear to be able to pick out words in British accent, because their pronunciation is totally different from how what we are used to. So if you're not good at picking out those words, you might actually mix up things. So the three things I've talked about in listening include one, to listen attentively, pay attention. Good enough for us. Most of the centers use what they call now headsets or headphones, so it's easier for you. So what you need to do is listen attentively, work on your synonyms, and then try to listen to podcasts. They would help you to improve how well you can pick out words that are spoken in British accent. Someone's mic is not muted. Okay. Now, okay. So that is the things I think I would say for listening. Because I think listening for me is like the simplest. If you can be attentive, if you can walk around synonyms, and then you train your ear very well, you're good to go. You can actually pick out all the questions. You can pick out all the questions. Now, another thing is this: even if you don't listen to podcasts, the other thing you can use to train your ear are actual exam questions. Now, I did over Okay, I did over 40 listening test exam questions. Like I did over 40, 40 different tests of 40 sets, 40 questions. I came to a point where I was scoring roughly 38 over 40, 37 over 40, sometimes 40 over 40. So you can use that to train your ears too. You can use the actual test questions to train your ears with respect to having to pick out information that are given in British accent. That is for listening. Now, for reading, a lot of persons have issues with reading. I won't say I am best in reading. I had an 8 in reading, a band 8, but I worked with some principles. Now, one thing I did during my preparation for reading is this: I ensure I read the whole passage first. Some persons are opinions. You first of all go through the questions and then have a glimpse of what the questions look like, such that when you're reading through the passage for the first time, you can actually pick out some answers, which is true. But now, you have to train yourself with in a particular way, rather, with a particular system. So for me, what I do is I go through the questions first. And when I'm going through the questions, now I actually underline important information. Important information would include dates, names, places, events. So you record or you underline them. Any of those all those information are very, very key. So you underline them, and then you find out that when you now go to the questions, you find out that most of the things you've underlined, they have questions around them, such that you don't need to go through the whole passage again. When you want to answer the questions, you just pick out where you've underlined, a particular thing, and then you answer the questions surrounding it. So that is it for that is one of the tips rather for reading. Now, another thing is this: the questions actually are sequential with respect to difficulty. So they usually go progressively in difficulty. The first passage is the least difficult passage, and the last passage is the most difficult passage. In your in your preparation, one thing I tell people is this: don't start working with time initially. Most people want to preparing with time, and they are trying to ensure they answer the questions within an hour, and most times they miss out a lot of things. Now, first of all, you want to train yourself on how to answer the questions correctly. And how do you train yourself? You don't have to put yourself under any form of pressure. First things first, learn how to answer the. Now, when you've learned how to answer the questions and you're hitting at least a 35, 36, then you can now move to time. Now, during my preparation, I did not at any time, what's it called now, give myself time limits for my reading. I did not. I usually, ensure that I understand the passage, answer the questions accordingly, and then score myself. That was what I did. Then some persons usually say they have some problems with reading. Now, the reading is this. First of all, you get your first passage, read it as fast as possible. Now, because in the exam, see one trick that will help you. Since the first passage is the least difficult, ensure you answer the first passage in at least 10 to 12 minutes. Ensure you answer the first passage. It's very simple. The first passage is usually the simplest. You can answer that in 10 to 12 minutes. So you can buy time for your passage 2 and passage because they are more difficult. So that's what I did. I answered my first passage in 10 minutes. I had 50 minutes left, and I divided it between passage 2 and passage 3. Now, when you're answering your questions in the exam, you find any difficult question, leave that question and move to the next one. When you're done, you can now find how many questions you've not answered, and then you get to answer them within the time remaining. So that is that force for reading. You have to, first of all, like I said, read your passage. Most persons just want to find answers, but it is also important to ensure you understand the passage, know what the passage is about, because sometimes they ask you the question, what does this writer what is the writer's opinion with respect to the passage? Now, if you don't have an understanding of what that passage is about, you are likely going to miss that answer. So first of all, for me, what I do, I read the passage first and then go to the questions. While reading the passage, I try to highlight important things, important information given in the passage. That is what I do. And then when I read the questions, it helps me to get my answers without having to read everything in. Now, true false not given is one of the most difficult thing that in fact, almost every person who has issues with reading, usually true false not given and then matching headings. That is one of the things that actually gives people problems. Now, for true false not given, the rule I use is the synonyms also help here. Synonyms, your knowledge of synonyms help. Now, what I do is they give a statement, and then I read the statement and then read where it is found in the passage. If it is, what's it called now? If that information is the same as the one given in the passage, then it's true. If the information negates what is given in the passage, it is false. If the information is not found in the passage, it is not given. That is the simple rule I use. True if the information is found in the passage. False if the information negates. It's not like the information is not there, but it is opposite of what is there. It is negating the information given it. It's obviously false. But then if it is not found in the passage, then it is not given. As simple as that. Now, for matching headings, you have to see where the issue of understanding the passage comes into play. You have to understand the passage properly before you can match headings, because they would give you, what's it called, a list of headings, and then tell you this paragraph, what is it talking about? This paragraph, what is it talking about? So if you don't understand what the passage is about, what that paragraph is about, you won't be able to get the right answer. Now, look out for keywords. They usually will give keywords that will point you to the answer. Those keywords are usually found in those paragraphs. So ensure you go through, you have enough synonyms in your head, like words and their other synonyms. It will help you in getting right answers. That is for reading. Um, Now, the last is, and not the least anyway, is speaking. Now, for speaking, to be sincere, I really did not, I can't tell you that I prepared, like really prepared. I didn't even have a speaking partner. I didn't have a speaking partner. Um, but what I did was YouTube, basically. I went to YouTube, listened to a couple of persons, Jay and one other guy. I can't remember his name now. I listened to their stuff, and then I started practicing in my own time, in my own way. I was trying to like get a couple of stuff, and that was it. You get for speaking, what you need to do is this. Number one, don't fret. Most people usually, they get fidgety, they get scared and all that, and it affects their fluency. Now they want to see how confident you are, how well you can speak fluently. They don't. You mustn't answer the questions correctly. That's one thing you need to understand. You mustn't answer the questions given correctly. They're not asking you to tell the truth. You mustn't tell truth. You can create scenarios in your head as long as you can tell confidently and fluently. That is all. You can create scenarios in your head. It's not like they're saying they're going to go and check or cross-check what you told them if it is true. No, that is not it. You just have to ensure that you flow, you're fluent. You can, say what you need to say fluently. Um, don't bow your head when talking. Look at the examiner. They ask you question, look at her and talk. Look at him and talk. You understand? Don't stop talking except they ask you another question. Don't stop talking. Just keep talking. And for people who are probably not so good with the way they speak, you can get speaking partners. It would help. Just talk. And what I usually tell people, use connectors. Use connectors. It will help your score. Use connectors. You understand? Now, the connectors would include, words like because, which, as well as, you're not, trying to restrict yourself, and you can use complex sentences and simple sentences, a mixture of, these. It would help to improve your score. And I think that's basically about it. That's, I'll try as much as I can to make input with respect to assessing people's writing. I know I've not really, given so much, but I'll try. It's not been easy to work, and I'm preparing for another exam, but I'll try to assess as many people's writing as I can when I'm free. And then you can use that to also, work your own writing. You don't need yours to be assessed, but you can use other people's assessments to make corrections to your own, and then you would see yourself improving. I didn't have, so many persons assess my writing, like I said earlier, but I used other people's assessment and improved the writing, and that was it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure for us to listen to your tips and advices, which were really helpful. I hope others are the same opinion with me, right?
Yes.
Thank you. And if you don't mind, you can tell your score to people to motivate them, please. Hello.
Questions?
No. I mean, your IELTS score overall was a 8 band score to motivate people to work on themselves.
Okay.
You can tell us
Okay.
your
So
score to motivate us.
okay. I get it. So I had had 9 in listening. I had a band 8 in my reading. I had
Wow.
a band I speak, and then a band
We can't hear
7.5 in
you.
my writing.
We
Okay,
can't hear
listening
you.
was band 9. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Can
Yes.
you hear me now? Listening was band 9.
Okay.
Reading was band 8. Speaking was band 8. And then writing was band 7.5. So in total, I had an average of 8 over 9. Band 8. Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
this is really good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
That's a
sir.
nice
Thank
one.
you very much.
This is
Thank you
really
very much.
Congrats.
we're proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Please come
Thank
and
you.
be
Thank you.
vetting our essays.
I'll
Try and
try.
help us as much
I'll
as you
try.
can.
Hey,
I'll
we
try. It's not been easy, but I'll try.
believe in you, sir.
I have my plab 1 to write, so I'm trying to combine preparation for my plab 1 as well as having to help people vet their essays too. But I'll try as much as I can.
Okay.
And then there is
Wish
work
you
too.
Success in life. Good luck to your migration to the dreamland,
Thank you very much.
Canada or Australia, anything you want. We wish you.
No, UK actually.
Wish you
Hello,
success,
Kelechi.
everyone. Thank you for your tips, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Hello, Kelechi.
Yes, I can hear you.
Casey, somebody's calling you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry. First of all, let me congratulate you. I want to appreciate every one of
Thank
us for being part of this meeting. It's really encouraging. It's really, it's encouraging. So there are some questions that we might want to ask.
Okay.
You've gone through this, and some of us are just coming in. I've been following this program
Okay.
for about a week now, and I love what I'm seeing, and I want to take part. I want to enjoy. I want to write this exam as soon as possible. But I have one fear, which is how long does it take for me to prepare? I have all the time it takes. How long does it take for me to prepare? That's just one of the basic things, the questions. Sorry. Secondly, in case we have any other question to ask, is there room for us to private chat you or someone that has made it before? Is there room for that?
Okay, I would answer the 2 questions. First one, you asked for the time, the time frame, right? With respect to preparing for the exam, right? That's your first question.
Yes,
Now
time it
for
takes
that,
for
I
one to.
think it depends on if you have the speeds of learning. We all have different capabilities. I registered for the exam mid-August to write mid-September, and I started preparing in August and wrote September 17th. So different people have different capacities, but I can't extrapolate my own personal experience to every other person. So
That's true.
for me, I did it in roughly 6 weeks. My preparation was roughly 6 weeks, and then and that was my first too. So don't be discouraged. Don't be scared. It was my first time. It was my first attempt, and then I made it, once and once. So you can actually hit it once and for all, right? All you need to do is that you have to, know yourself first of all. That is the first statement we learned in school. Man, know yourself. That's basically something that you need to understand. You have to know yourself first, know your capacity, and then it will help you to make plans with respect to how long it will take you to make preparations for the exam. Now, for the second question, yes, you can actually private chat me. I'll try to, as much as I can, to answer every question. I'm not usually frequent on Telegram, but I'll try to, as much as I
I've
can,
tried to
answer
look for you. I
as
can't
much.
even find you, Mr. Kelechi. You're not on Telegram.
Please.
I
We will
am
type in the
actually.
group. He will type.
I'm trying to search for you in the group.
We will have 1 minute,
I
and
am.
after 1 minute it will be finished. Please, sorry, you can speak, but after 1 minute it will be finished.
What's your name on Telegram?
Okay.
Yes, exactly. What's your name on Telegram? Please drop it in the group.
I'll drop you a message. I'll drop a message on the group.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'll drop a message on the group, and then maybe you can chat me from there.
Congratulations,
so
sir. Thanks for your lecture.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelechi. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Congratulations one more time. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot.